In order to solve a system of equations in 3 variables, the first thing you must do is choose a variable to eliminate. Let's choose the y's in the bottom 2 equations because they're ready to go. So therefore, we're just going to bring them over just like they are. Negative 8x minus y plus z is equal to negative 5. And 2x plus y plus 2z is equal to positive 5. Putting those equations together, the y's cancel. We get negative 6x plus 3z is equal to 0. We're going to call that our first star equation. Now we have to eliminate the same variable again, but we must use the equation we haven't used yet. You have not used this top equation. I'm going to choose the bottom and the top and eliminate y again. Now, it is very important that these match, like it says that you're eliminating the same variable so that your star equations will match. In order to eliminate, that is a negative 2, this would need to be a positive 2. So therefore, I need to multiply by a positive 2, which will go through and distribute to every single person. So keep that top equation the way it is. 4x minus 2y minus 3z is equal to 5. The bottom equation, 2 times 2 is 4x. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 2 is 4z. And 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, let's put those equations together, and we get 8x plus z is equal to 15. That is our second star equation. Once you have the 2 star equations, you have to eliminate a variable. Your choice. I believe the z's would be the easiest thing to eliminate. So let's do that. Let's multiply this by a negative 3 because that's what it's going to take to knock out that positive 3. So we will distribute that through. Keep this star equation just like it is. Negative 6x plus 3z is equal to 0. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24x. Negative 3 times z is negative 3z. And negative 3 times 15 is negative 45. The z's cancel. And I get negative 30x is equal to negative 45. Divide by your negative 30. And x is equal to, as a decimal, 1.5. Now, it is true that that reduces to the fraction 3/2. You certainly could do that if you wanted to, but I think the decimal might be a bit easier, so that's what I'm going to stick with. All right, so now that you've got your x, you're going to take that x and go back into either one of the 2 star equations. We can go here and plug it in, or here and plug it in. I think I'll go to this bottom one. So I'll have 8 times the x that I just found, which is 1.5, plus z is equal to 15. 8 times 1.5 is 12. So 12 plus z is equal to 15. And if you subtract minus 12 over, 15 minus 12 is 3. Once you get the second equation, take the 2 answers you got previously, go back to any one of the 3 originals. It's completely your choice. I believe I'll go to the bottom and I'll put in the x and the z, but again, you could put it in here and here, or here and here. It's your choice. So if I go put that back into this bottom equation, I'll have 2 times 1.5 plus y, which is what I'm looking for, plus 2, but where the z is, I'll put 3, is equal to 5. Well, 2 times 1.5 is 3, plus y plus 6 is equal to 5. Collect your like terms. 9 plus y is equal to 5. Subtracting that 9 over, and y is equal to negative 4. Now, some teachers like you to write this as an ordered triple, so let's do that just in case. It's going to be x, y, z, just in order, x, y, z. Now, don't forget that you can check these answers. So what you would do is take your x, your y, and your z that you got, and you would go back to this original and say 4 times 1.5 minus 2 times negative 4 minus 3 times 3, hit equals, and 5 is what it equals. Do it again. Negative 8 times 1.5 minus a minus 4, watch your signs, plus 3 equals, and sure enough, it equals negative 5. Then lastly, 2 times 1.5 plus negative 4 plus 2 times 3, and sure enough, it equals 5 as well. For your equation, or for your answers to be correct, it does have to check in all 3 equations. Okay, let's take a look at example number 2. Remember, if you would like to, you could pause the video and try it on your own and then push play again and check to see if you got it right. All right, so the first thing we need to do is pick a variable to eliminate. Completely your choice. I think these z's look pretty nice, so I'm going to choose the top one and the bottom one and eliminate z because they're ready to go. So just copy those equations over and then copy this bottom one, 5x plus 7y plus z is equal to 4. Those z's are going to cancel, and we have 7x plus 8y is equal to 13. That is our first star equation. Now, we have to eliminate z again, using the one you haven't used yet. I have not used this middle equation. So I'm going to use the middle, and either one, I'm going to use the top one and eliminate z. We said, again, it's very important that those match so that my stars will match. If I want to eliminate z, this is a positive 2, so that would need to be a negative 2 in order to knock that out. I've already got the negative, so all I have to do is supply the 2, which will distribute through to everybody. So as I do that, that'll be 2 times 2 is 4x, 2 times y is 2y, 2 times negative z is negative 2z, and 2 times 9 is 18. Then this middle equation, just bring it over as is because we didn't have to do anything to that one. And so the z's cancel, and I get 3x plus 8y is equal to 1. And that is my second star equation. Now take the 2 star equations and eliminate a variable. You know, those 8y's look really nice and easy to eliminate, so that's what I'm going to do. So multiply one of them, obviously, by negative to make one turn negative. I'll just turn this one negative down here. So we're going to take that negative 1 and go through. So that'll be 7x plus 8y equals 13. I kept that like it was. And then negative times 3 is negative 3x. Negative times 8 is negative 8. And negative times 1 is negative 1. The y's cancel, and you get 4x equals 12. Divide by 4, and x is equal to 3. Once you get the first answer, you're going to take that and go plug it into either one of the two star equations where that is. It's your choice. I think I'll go right here. So if I do that, I'm going to say 3, but where the x is, I'm going to put 3 plus 8y is equal to 1. So 9 plus 8y is equal to 1. Subtract your 9 over, so you get 8y equals negative 8. Divide, and y equals negative 1. Once you get two answers, go back to any one of the original equations. Completely your choice. I think I'll go up to this top equation. So where that x is and where that y is, I'm going to put in what I just got. So I will have 2, but where the x is 3, plus y, which is negative 1, minus z is equal to 9. So 6 plus negative 1 minus z is equal to 9. 5 minus z is equal to 9. Subtract that 5 over, so negative z is 9 minus 5 is 4, but then I need to divide by negative, so z is negative 4. Again, we can write that as an ordered triple. It would be x, y, and z. Don't forget, you can check those answers by placing them into x, y, and z in each one, and you'll see they'll equal what they're supposed to. Okay, let's take a look at problem number 3. Again, pause the video if you would like and try it on your own. Come back and check. So let's pick a variable to eliminate. I think I'll eliminate the y's and probably use the top 2. So I'm going to take the top 2 and eliminate y. So if this is a negative 2, this would need to be a positive 2. So in order for that to turn back to positive, I'm going to need to multiply by negative because I need a negative times a negative to turn into a positive. So I will distribute that through. I will say negative 2 times 3 is negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative y is positive 2y, and that's what I needed, was for that negative and negative to turn back to positive. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4z is equal to negative 8. Copy the middle equation over just like it is, and then eliminate your variables. Now, our goal was to eliminate y, which we did, but the x's also happened to eliminate, and so did the z's for that matter. So nothing is left, 0 on that side. Equals, over here, negative 8 plus 3 is 11. Well, this is definitely a false statement. 0 does not equal 3. When you get a false statement, what that means is that you have no solution. There is no solution to this problem. Recall that if I had gotten a true statement, then it would be infinitely many solutions. Okay, let's take a look at example 4. So in example 4, just as always, we have to choose a variable to eliminate. I think I will eliminate the x's and I'll use the bottom 2 equations. So I'm going to use the bottom 2 equations and eliminate x. In order for those to eliminate, someone has to turn negative. So I'll just take this middle one and multiply it by negative 1 so that everybody will negate. So negative 1 times x is negative 1x. Negative 1 times negative 2 is positive 2y. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3z. And negative 1 times 23 is negative 23. Bring this over just like it is. Put our equations together. And both of those eliminate. And I end up with 4z is equal to negative 20. Divide by 4, and z is negative 5. I was hoping to get a star equation, but instead got an answer. Sometimes that happens. When it does, you just want to stick with the plan. Don't deviate. Just stick with your original plan. Our original plan was to eliminate x. So that's what we're going to continue to do. So to eliminate x again, I have to use the equation that I didn't use yet, which was the top one, and use either one. I think I'll use the top one and the middle one, and I will eliminate x. Remembering that this needs to match, so if we have star equations, they will match. To eliminate x, if this is a positive 2, I need to multiply this by a negative 2 in order for them to cancel, which I will distribute. Distributing is a place where it's easy to make a careful mistake, so that's why I always draw those arrows. So I'm going to bring the top equation, 2x plus y minus 2z is equal to 31. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4y. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6z. And negative 2 times positive 23 is negative 46. Okay, let those x's cancel. And when they do, that gives me 5y plus 4z is equal to negative 15. Now that is a star equation. Typically, you have two star equations to put together, but since I already got an answer, take that answer and go plug it in for z. So, which is what you do. You put it back into one of the stars. So 5y plus 4 times negative 5 is equal to negative 15. So 5y minus 20 is equal to negative 15. Add your 20 over. 5y is equal to 5. Divide by 5. And y is equal to 1. Once you get two answers, as we have, you're going to take those two answers, go back to one of the originals, completely your choice. I'll just go to the top one. I'll put the y where y lives, and I'll put negative 5 or z into his house. And so then I'm going to have 2x plus 1 for y minus 2 times z, which is negative 5, equals 31. So 2x plus 1 plus 10 is equal to 31. Put your like terms together. 2x plus 11 is equal to 31. Subtract your 11 over. So 2x is equal to 20. Dividing by 2, x is equal to 10. And then you have your answer. X, y, and z. Always in order, x, y, z. Okay, last one. Let's take a look at example 5. If you look at example 5, it looks a little bit strange. Things are kind of like missing some variables. So first of all, let's rewrite this so that it looks easier to deal with. If I rewrite this, notice how I've put my x terms together right here. I've put my y terms together all on top, and I've got my z in the same column and my equals in the same column. All right, so because these top two equations just have two variables, let's use one of the two as star equation. I'm going to let the top one be a star equation. Because I chose for that to be my star equation, I noticed the z's are gone, so then I would need to eliminate z from these two to match. That's what I'll do. But I didn't have to do it that way. If I had chosen, and I could have, if I had chosen for this to be my star equation, the x's would have been gone, and I would have eliminated the two x's. But let's go with the route we said. So if this is a negative 4z, this needs to be a positive 4. So multiply everybody by positive 4. So this one, just copy over. 3y minus 4z is equal to 25. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 6 is 24y. 4 times z is 4z. And 4 times 20 is 80. Z's eliminate, and I have 4x plus 27y is equal to 105. And that is my second star equation. So now what I'm going to do is take my two star equations and put those together. I think that I will probably eliminate my x's. So if this is a positive 4, then I will need to multiply this star equation by a negative 4 so that it will cancel. So negative 4 will go to each of those people, and I will have negative 4 times x is negative 4x. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. And negative 4 times 12 is negative 48. This equation will be brought down as it is. The x's are going to eliminate, and that's going to be negative 8 plus 27 is 19y. Negative 48 and a positive 105 is 57. Divide by 19, and y is equal to 3. Once you get that first answer, go back to either one of your stars, this one or this one, completely your choice. I'm going to go back up to that top one. So I'll have x plus 2 times 3 is equal to 12. X plus 6 equals 12. Subtract your 6, and x equals 6. Once you have two answers, take the two answers and go back to any of the originals that would allow you to solve for z. So you could put the y here to get z, or we could go to the bottom equation. So I'm going to put the 6 and the y in, the 6 and the 3. So I'm going to go to that bottom equation. I'll just come up here. So I'm going to have 6 plus 6 times y, which is 3, plus z is equal to 20. So 6 plus 18 plus z is equal to 20. Put your like terms together. 24 plus z is equal to 20. Subtract your 24 over. So I'll have z is equal to 20 minus 24, which is negative 4. And there I have my answers. It's as easy as x, y, and z. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel. This allows me to grow the channel so I can build your math esteem one problem at a time. See you later.